Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Callie with the Cosmic Haven Tarot here to give you your weekly reading. And so the day I'm posting this, it is November 1st. Happy November. And then November 5th, we have the full moon in Taurus. So really get those releasing statements out, start setting your intentions. I have a few events coming up in November, so I'll be at Oracle's Apothecary, date to be determined, but I'm also at the Love Light Collective in Old Town Lansing. So I will be on November 15th at Old Town Love Light Collective, which is a great yoga studio, and I will be teaching a shadow work class from 3 to 4:30. And so in that shadow work class, we'll be revealing what the shadow is, how to really learn to embrace and integrate it, because so many people are just like, oh, let's get rid of the shadow, let's get rid of it. But no, this is about going into the darker aspects of our being and learning how to embrace and love on those aspects and use them for our highest purpose and really to bring something of beauty back to humanity. Okay. So I'll be out there doing that. And I think that's it. We are using the Lineages of Change tarot deck. Oh, and also there's a little fuzz coming up. Uh, just so you know, quick reminder, we are currently in the shadow period for Mercury retrograde. I believe Mercury retrograde starts on November 9th. Don't quote me on that, but I'm like 95% sure. So really start getting prepared for that and learning, withdrawing, seeing what it is you will have to work on during this Mercury retrograde, okay? So, oh, here we go. Okay, we are going to start with that card that fell. And and we have got the Fool card right here from the Lineages of Change tarot deck. So this Fool card is really, it is really about you coming out of the rubble, okay? A new person. This is more like an evolution, a not necessarily a rebirth, but like a metamorphosis of you. So you have been really in the nitty gritty of a lot of things, especially when it comes to people and relationships. Like they've people have been really doing a lot to you, and it's really starting to hone you into that diamond. So like under pressure you become a diamond. So you're rebirthing and you're realizing like, hey, you know what, I don't have to put up with this, I don't have to deal with this nonsense. It's you learning that it's these people out here and not necessarily you. Sometimes they're the problem, and learning like it's okay to detach. And there is this fear like, oh, we have to collaborate, we have to work together, we have to form communities. Guys, it's about aligning with the communities that are meant for you and really learning how to cherish and relish the relationships that are serving you. And there are some relationships that served you for a time. However, these relationships are fading away, and you are coming into this new sense of peace with like, yeah, it's totally okay to let go. It's totally okay for me to be an individual and to really claim my sovereignty and to make a path for myself. And okay, so we've got the Magician in reverse for the second card. So really coming out of that metamorphosis into, there is this hesitancy to create. It's like, okay, now I'm this new person. Now I've evolved. Now I've transformed. What do I do with this power? How do I move forward from here when it seems like, especially when it seems like everything has been taken from me? And now, for some of you, you guys might actually like be in this deep sense of loneliness, even though you've transformed and acknowledged this stuff. There is this deep sense of loneliness and like, it's kind of like the umbilical cord, I want to say. So some of you actually might be dealing with mom issues when it comes to this, and it can be like, it feels like codependency issues because I'm getting umbilical cord. However, it's like you, even though they were mistreating you, you still were getting energy from them. It's kind of like a drug. So really being like, oh, now they're gone, what do I do from here? Who do I talk to? How do I move forward? And it's really about this unraveling and this discovery process. We've got the divine force of air in reverse as well. So, and like I said, guys, Mercury retrograde is happening pretty sure November 9th. So there is this sense of discombobulation. And so the divine force of air is things around you might seem scattered and you might seem very unattached to moving forward or to taking a thought and bringing it into life. So, really detached from the manifestation process with the ideas that you have. Like, there is just this sense of isolation with you guys right now. There's just a huge sense of, mm, I, I don't know how to connect with people, or who do I connect with? Who do I trust? And who do I get with and collaborate with and really harmonize with? Who are these divine connections? And we've got this 10 of water. So this 10 of water is telling you, like, tap in more to spirit, tap in more to your essence, into your being, and call these people to you. Don't So for the longest time you've been going out and trying to make relationships with people and trying to force collaborations. This isn't about force. This is about allowing them to happen. You don't necessarily need to go out to the places people are like, oh, you need to go out to. If you feel called to go out, it's because your inner being said, oh, let's go here. Okay. So, really be able to allow that to happen for you. We've got this root of fire right here, and it's in reverse. And so, there is a frustration because it seems like everything isn't growing and it isn't moving at all. And it's kind of like you're you're kind of like in those underground basement type things, and you're rapping at the ceiling, tapping at the ceiling, banging at the ceiling, waiting to burst forth, waiting to get up out of there. But it's like, oh, nobody's coming. The door won't open. Like, why am I still banging on this ceiling when I'm meant to elevate? So there is this frustration and this friction happening within you. Give it time. Keep setting your intentions, keep allowing and opening yourself up, because there is going to be more pressure in that area. And this feels very root chakra-y. So it's like you're building that momentum within the root chakra to give birth to these new connections, these new collaborations, and this new sense of you. Okay, so even though it's kind of like even though you're in that, you've transformed, you're still kind of like in that baby phase, like kind of like butterflies just coming out of the cocoon. Like, they need a minute. Okay, so you are just coming out of that cocoon. You need a minute to acclimate, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna spread my wings now, and I'm gonna be this fierce god or goddess that I know I am. All right, and you're really gonna go with that and own that and remember that you are it. Okay, so just remember that. And then, ooh, for we've got the Six of Water and the Moon coming up. So the Six of Water and the Moon, it's really allowing you, it's this deep invitation. So, like, the moon is showing all this outside world how you are shutting it out, to allow this deeper sense of play within you, to allow your essence to come forth. So, like, an aspect of you has been so hung up on other people's words and other people's thoughts and beliefs and really clinging to that. But in silence, in this withdrawal period that allows you to change, you're going to find your essence and you're going to find your joy. And it's like you're going to have a lot more fun. Okay, so the outside world is being super noisy and super crazy, and not saying like don't be mindful of what's going on in the world, but when you feel called to do something, you're going to do it, and you're going to have fun with it, and you're really going to connect on that level. Okay, so really allow yourself to play, allow yourself to have fun while the people outside are going through their own karmic lessons and all these things, you got to stay centered within your own being. You got to stay whole. You've got to make sure your own cup is filled. You've got to allow yourself to play, okay, and have fun and really be in you. All right. We've got the Hanged One in reverse. There is a hesitancy, and this especially feels like closer this feels like closer to Mercury retrograde, this hesitancy to really let go and have fun and accept that it's okay to be you and it's safe to be you. And people who don't necessarily want or support you, they don't got to know about your business, okay? And this is another thing, like, you don't got to be telling people all your business, even those who appear closer to you in your day-to-day life. Like, keep your stuff precious to you, but also surrender to the fact that there are people very close to you who you can trust, okay? You do have an inner circle and you have cultivated deep friendships and really cherish those, okay? We've got this Ace of Air. So, this Ace of Air, it's about trusting your intuition. So I'm looking at the crow right here, and it's really about being able to dive deep within your being and follow that path on an even deeper level. So those of you who have dreams, I would consider writing down your dreams even more, tapping in, meditating on an even deeper level. And really, it feels like, and I'm just going to say this crow because this feels like a spirit guide for a lot of you. Not necessarily the crow, but excuse me, it feels like a spirit guide is coming, and they're going to be like, these are the people you trust, these are the people you don't trust. This is the path you follow, okay? This is the way you move forward. It's very precise, it's very refined, and you're trusting that inner being, and you're really allowing yourself to move forward with that divine path. So that, like, gosh, this spirit guide, okay, so I was saying spirit guide, some of it is just your own inner sense of knowing, okay? So your own knowing where to go and who to turn to, and what spirits to trust and what not to trust. Because guys, the spiritual world, you got to use discernment. You don't just trust any old spirit. You don't just trust any old ancestor. You can thank them for bringing you here, but you don't have to trust just anyone, okay? Because, like, some people are messy, living or dead. They're just messy, okay? And then we've got this Three of Air. So this is really about embracing the change and learning from the past and allowing yourself to move forward. It, like, this feels like such a strength card for you right now. It's like, yeah, I allowed a lot of people to walk over me. I allowed a lot of people to underestimate me and to really use me and just treat me like crap. And now I'm just going to live my life. Now I'm just going to enjoy my life. They got enough energy out of me. They can move on with their lives. They can move on with their lives. And it's really this sense of, I'm going to dance, I'm going to have fun, and I'm also going to set my boundaries. I'm not just going to dance with anybody. I will dance by myself for as long as I need to. Okay, you guys got to work. Ooh, you guys have got to work for me. All right, they have got to work to get your attention, to get your blessings. Okay, so remember your value. This is really about remembering your value. Now that it's like, it feels like the people who you did have to detach from, it was like it was a bit of a grieving process. Okay, and by a little bit I mean a lot of it. So some of them you had to detach from, there was a grieving process, but now you're like, I'm wiser. Like, Britney Spears song Stronger Than Yesterday is popping into my head right now. So you might want to listen to that. That song is so great, okay? Like, shout out to Britney. But it's really about being stronger than yesterday and knowing that I am capable of love. I love you. I love you, but that doesn't mean I'm going to let you within my vicinity. Okay, you can stay over there. I can accept that we're just going to be different and we have our own paths to move on. And that's perfectly fine. Okay. So now that that grieving process is over, now it's more like, remembering who you are and having this deeper sense of empowerment and not letting just anybody into your heart space because not everybody deserves all this. They can be out, you can love them from a distance, but they don't have to be in here, okay? And then we've got this three of, ooh, okay, so we've got the three of air in reverse. Now we've got this three of water in reverse. Especially since it's Scorpio season, this feels like it's going to be, ooh, and that looks like a little spirit, doesn't it? Like with the eyes and the mouth. That looks like it could be a mouth, okay? Um, it feels like some people are going, ooh, are going to be hovering and leeching. Be very careful with your energy, okay? Because it feels like some people are going to try to cling to that, even if it's from a distance, even if it's like, just watching your social media or trying to be like you or trying to throw ill wishes your way. It feels like some people are going to try to throw ill wishes your way, okay? So take time to clear and cleanse your energy. Be careful. They're not very happy that you've detached and that you've empowered yourself, okay? They're especially not happy because it feels like some of them were giving you advice and thinking like, oh, I'm going to wrap their mind around what I've been spitting out, and that advice, you're not taking that advice anymore, okay? You're done with listening to them or like consulting them. And so it's like they're a bit bitter. So be very careful and really protect your energy because um gosh, they aren't being very nice. They're not being very nice, okay? Um this card kind of reminds me of like in reverse, it reminds me of the three fates, the three sisters who um, would foresee the future and they would all share one eye. And they were accurate. They were in Greek mythology. They were crazy. Um, these people kind of feel like they have a host of spirits that they work with, and that all of them are pretty bitter. All of them are pretty angry. Okay, so be very careful with that. And we've got this strength card in reverse. So yeah, these people were they kind of feed off of they're vampires, okay? In essence. Happy belated Halloween. They're energy vampires. Like we thought they were going to be gone with Halloween. Surprise. Um so a lot of that is they try to be strong. They might mentally trick you and think like, oh, and try to intimidate you with, oh, we have all this power, we have all this years upon years of wealth or influence, just certain things to try to intimidate you. Just ignore them. They're actually like very insecure and not as strong as they think. So like if people have to control other people in order to get their way, then they're not very strong. Okay, so there's that. And we've got this four of air. So in the transition towards the end of the week, you're going to have a resting period and you're going to be able to take a break and really relax and integrate everything you've learned, especially since we're getting to the end of the year. It's time to really start integrating and harmonizing with your higher self and your physical self, okay? So take time to refresh, rejuvenate, meditate, and really take care of yourself, okay? We've got Okay, so we've got another three right here. We've got the three of fire in reverse, and then we've got the God seed. So sometimes this deck likes pulling multiple cards. So three of fire in reverse, and then the God seed. Be very careful because some people might want to try to pull you into their stuff or even extract information from you. Okay. So, like, some people want to expand their horizons and kind of like explore you, nitpick your brain and really get what they need from you information wise. Pull back and don't be afraid to be very secretive, okay? So like they might be shouting praises, they might be trying to befriend you, but be very careful because not all of them are very trustworthy, okay? And then we've got this divine force of fire. So you're coming out on top. There is this new level of discernment that you are starting to embody that is amazing. So really take heed of that. And it's not just because you're connected with spirit, it's because you're connected with your body. You're connected with your divine self. At the end of the day, like, as long as you are connected with who you are in this moment, it's fine. Like, spirit guides and everything else are literally just extra. Thankful for them, but it's literally just extra. So take time to really acknowledge your greatness, okay? And what you bring to the table into this reality. And, just keep remembering how amazing you are, okay? So, like, yeah, have gratitude for the people and the spirits around helping you, but also have gratitude for yourself and what you've been doing to improve your life and to live more fulfilling life, okay? And then we have got boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? So this is from the Work Your Life Oracle deck. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? This is what we have been talking about. Okay, don't be afraid to just close your mouth and be silent. I was just reading a book about Pythagoras, and it was a numerology book, so of course he was in there. But like, apparently, so if you don't know who that is, he was a great mathematician back in the ancient times, and he developed a system of numerology. He also had his own little mystery school. But like, for the first 5 years of his mystery school, he told his students they could not talk, and that really trained people to withdraw and realize that a lot of words are just nonsense, and to use their words with more intention, and to also be comfortable with holding back secrets, because some people do not deserve to know what's going on in your life. Okay, so really remember that, and especially Mercury retrograde, take time for silence. Don't put everything out there. All right. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. And I am available for readings this week, so schedule your appointment. You can go to thecosmichaven.com, or, stop into one of the places I'm going to be, okay? So have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye.